Hey guys, welcome to Initiate Scientia, where science meets you. If you're new to this channel, then do press the subscribe button and also press the bell icon. Hello everyone, this is ICSE 2024 Examination Specimen Question Paper Physics with Solutions. Let's move on to section 1. Question 1. Choose the correct answer to the question from the given option. A moment of couple has a tendency to rotate the body in an anti-clockwise direction. Then the moment of couple is taken as positive. The kinetic energy of a given body depends on the momentum. For burning of coal in a thermoelectric station, the energy conversion taking place is chemical to heat to mechanical to electrical. A nucleus of an atom consists of 146 neutrons and 95 protons. It decays after emitting an alpha particle. How many protons and neutrons are left in the nucleus after an alpha emission? Protons will be 93, neutrons is 144. Assertion. Infrared radiations travel long distances through dense fog and mist. Reason. Infrared radiations undergoes minimal scattering in Earth's atmosphere. Both assertion and reason are true. For a convex lens, the minimum distance between an object and its real image in terms of focal length f of a given lens must be 4f. Two sound waves x and y have same amplitude and same wave pattern, but their frequencies are 60 Hz and 120 Hz respectively. Then x will be grave and y will be shriller. Vibrations produced in a body under the influence of the periodic force is forced vibrations. The graph of voltage versus current for four different materials is as shown, PQRS. Which of these four materials would be used for making the coil of a toaster? P. According to the old convention, the color of the earth wire is green. Lenz's law is based on the law of conservation of energy. Heat capacity of a body is the energy needed to raise the temperature of the body by 1 degree Celsius. The amount of heat energy required to melt a given mass of a substance at its melting point without rise in its temperature is called latent heat of fusion. When a ray of light enters from a denser medium to a rarer medium, then the speed of light increases. An endoscope uses optical fiber to transmit high-resolution images of internal organs without loss of information. The phenomenon of light that governs the functioning of the optical fiber is total internal reflection. Question 2. Name the principle on which a lever works. A lever works on the principle of moments, according to which, in the equilibrium position of levers, moment of load about the fulcrum must be equal to the moment of efforts about the fulcrum, and the two moments must be in opposite directions. Which radiations that are emitted during the decay of a nucleus having highest penetrating power? Gamma radiations emitted during the decay of nucleus have the highest penetrating power. Does the emission of the above mentioned radiation result in a change in the mass number? When gamma radiations are emitted from the nucleus, then there is no change in mass number as gamma radiations have no charge and mass. A meter rod made of copper and steel as shown in the diagram. Weights of copper and steel are 10 Newton and 8 Newton respectively. On which part does the center of gravity lie? 0 to 50 or 50 to 100? Center of gravity of the rod lies between 0 to 50. Justify your answer. In equilibrium, F1 into distance is equal to F2 into distance. As F1 is greater than F2, hence L1 should be less than L2. Therefore, center of gravity lies between 0 to 50. A lever is as shown below. Identify the type of lever and calculate its mechanical advantage. It is a class 3 lever. The mechanical advantage is effort arm by load arm. So it is 0.1 by 0.1 plus 0.4, that is 1 by 5 is 0.2. Question 2.4. Two bodies A and B have the same kinetic energies. Compare their velocities if mass of A is 4 times the mass of B. Consider body A. Let mass of body A be 4m. Let kinetic energy of body A be K. Let velocity of body A be VA. Consider body B. Mass of body B is mb. Kinetic energy of body B is K and velocity is VB. Given A and B have same kinetic energies, therefore half 4mv square A is half mv square B. Hence, by the calculations, we can say that VA is to VB is 1 is to 2, or velocity of body B is 2 times that of velocity of body A. Draw a graph of potential energy versus height from the ground for a body thrown vertically upwards. Graph of potential energy versus height from the body for a body thrown vertically upwards is as shown below. Two copper wires A and B are of the same thickness and are at the room temperature. If the length of A is twice the length of B, then compare their resistances and compare their resistivities. Let the length of wire B be L and that of A be 2L. R is rho length by area. As area and specific resistance rho are same for both wires A and B, hence resistance of A by resistance of B is length of A by length of B, 2L by L, that is 2 by 1. The ratio between resistances A and B is 2 is to 1. Both the wires will have the same specific resistance because specific resistance is a characteristic property of the material. As both the wires are of copper, hence both will have same specific resistance. Name the waves used for echo depth sounding. Give one reason for their use in the above application. The waves used for echo depth sounding are ultrasonic waves. Ultrasonic waves can travel undeviated through a long distance and so they are used for echo depth sounding. Refer the diagram given below. A lens with two different refractive indices is shown. If the rays are coming from a distant object, then how many images will be seen? Two images will be seen. Reason, according to the lens maker formula, focal length is a function of refractive index. Hence, for two different refractive index, there will be two different focal lengths. Two different focal length implies two different images for same object. Hence, two images will be formed. A glass lens always forms a virtual, erect, and diminished image of an object kept in front of it. Identify the lens. The lens is concave lens. Next, it is observed that the house circuits are arranged in a parallel combination. Give two advantages of this arrangement. Two advantages of this arrangement are each appliance operates independently without being affected by the presence or working of the other appliances. Each appliance gets connected to 220 volt supply, its voltage rating for its normal working. A transformer is used to change a high alternating EMF to a low alternating EMF of the same frequency. Identify the type of transformer used for the above purpose. State whether the turns ratio of the above transformer is equal to 1, greater or less than 1. Step down transformer. Turns ratio is n is less than 1. That is, number of turns in the secondary are less than the number of turns in the primary. A solid of mass 60 gram at 100 degrees Celsius is placed in 150 gram of water at 20 degrees Celsius. The final steady temperature is 25 degrees Celsius. Calculate the heat capacity of the solid. Mass of the solid m is 60 gram. Fall in temperature of solid is 100 minus 25, 75 degrees Celsius. Rise in temperature of water is 25 minus 25 degrees Celsius. Let specific heat capacity of solid be C. Then heat energy given by solid is equal to mc and change in temperature, that is 60 into C into 75, 4500 C. Heat energy taken by water is equal to 150 into 4.2 into 5, that is 3150. Assuming that there is no loss of heat energy given by solid and heat energy taken by water would be the same. Hence, 4500 into C is 3150. So, C is 3150 by 4500, that is 0.7 joule per gram per Kelvin. Specific heat capacity of the solid is this. So, specific heat capacity of solid is equal to mass into specific heat capacity. That is 60 into 0.7, 42 joule per Kelvin. Hence, heat capacity of the solid is 42 joule per Kelvin. What is nuclear waste? State one method to dispose it safely. The radioactive material after its use, such as nuclear power generation, nuclear weapons production, and nuclear medicine, is known as nuclear waste. The nuclear waste obtained from laboratories, hospitals, scientific establishment, or power plants must be first kept in thick casks, and then they must be buried in the specially constructed deep underground stores. These underground stores must be far away from the populated areas. Section B, question 4. The diagram below shows a fish in the tank and its image seen in the surface of water. Name the phenomenon responsible for the formation of this image. Total internal reflection. Reason the image of the fish seen at the surface of water is due to total internal reflection as shown in the ray diagram below. Complete the path of the ray through the glass prism of critical angle 42 degree till it emerges out of the prism. This is the diagram. The refractive index of water is 1.33 at a certain temperature. When the temperature of water is increased by 40 degrees Celsius, the refractive index changes to x. State whether x is less than 1.33 or greater. In general, the refractive index of a substance decreases with increasing temperature. Therefore, if the temperature of water is increased by 40 degrees Celsius, the refractive index x is expected to be lesser than 1.33. Hence, we can state that x is less than 1.33. State two differences between normal reflection and total internal reflection. Two differences between normal reflection and total internal reflection are: normal reflection can occur whenever light encounters a reflective surface, such as a mirror, glass, or water, without any specific conditions related to the angle of incidence. Total internal reflection occurs when light traveling in a denser medium is incident at the surface of a rarer medium at an angle of incidence greater than the critical angle for the pair of media. In normal reflection, only a part of the light is reflected while rest is refracted and absorbed. So the reflection is partial. If total internal reflection In total internal reflection, the entire incident light is reflected back into the denser medium. So there is no loss of light energy. The above diagram shows that an observer sees the image of an object O at I. Name and define the phenomenon responsible for seeing the image at a different position. Refraction. The change in direction of the path of light when it passes from one transparent medium to another transparent medium is called refraction. State the effect on x when y increases and y decreases. The shift x increases when y increases and decreases when y decreases. An object is placed at a distance 24 cm in front of a convex lens of focal length 8 cm. What is the nature of the image so formed, and calculate the distance of the image from lens. Real inverted image is formed. Given focal length is 8 cm, object distance u is minus 24 cm, and we need to find image distance. We from lens formula 1 by v minus 1 by u is 1 by f. Substituting the values in the formula, we get the following. Hence, v is equal to 12. The image is formed at a distance of 12 cm behind the lens. When sunlight passes through water droplets in the atmosphere, it gets dispersed into its constituent colors, forming a rainbow. A similar phenomenon is observed when white light passes through a prism. Which color will show the maximum angle of deviation and which color will show the minimum angle of deviation? When sunlight passes through the water droplets in the atmosphere or through a prism, violet shows the maximum angle of deviation, while the red light shows the minimum angle of deviation. If instead of sunlight a green colored ray is passed through a glass prism, what will be the color of emergent ray? The color of emergent ray will be green. A prism doesn't change colors of light, it just disperses white light into its constituent colors. Mixture of red, blue, green is passed through a convex lens as shown in the diagram below. State whether the ray passes through a single point or through different points on principal axis after refraction. The ray will pass through different points on principal axis after refraction through the convex lens. Red color will deviate the least, followed by green, and then blue will deviate the most. Name the invisible radiations which can be obtained using quartz prism. State one use of these radiations. Ultraviolet radiations. They are used for sterilizing air, surgical equipment, etc. Name one radiation having wavelength longer than the wavelength of these radiations. Infrared radiations. Sumit and Sachin went for a trek and during the journey they visited a cottage. They suspended their bags to the two ropes hanging from P and Q on a wheel capable of rotating around O. Sumit suspended his bag to the rope Q and Sachin suspended his bag from the rope P. The wheel remained in equilibrium. State with the reason who is carrying a heavier bag. At equilibrium, clockwise moment is equal to anticlockwise moment. Moment equal to force into perpendicular distance. Weight of Sachin's bag into OP equal to weight of Sumit's bag into OR. Hence, OR is less than OP. As OR is less than OP, weight of Sumit's bag is greater than weight of Sachin's bag. Hence, Sumit's bag is heavier than Sachin's bag. Based on the principle of moments, write a mathematical relation that can be used to determine the weight of Sachin's bag, given that weight of Sumit's bag is 18 kgf. Given weight of Sumit's bag is 18, let weight of Sumit's bag be W. This is Sachin's bag be W. At equilibrium, clockwise moment equal to anticlockwise moment. W into OP is equal to 18 into OR. So W would be 18 times OR by the length of OP. The diagram below shows a block and tackle system. Copy and complete the label diagram showing the correct connection of the tackle, the direction of the forces involved to obtain maximum VR with the convenient direction. This is the completed diagram. Calculate the mechanical advantage of this pulley system if its efficiency is 80%. Here we can find neta is MA by VR, 80 by 100 is MA by 3, so MA is 2.4. The figure below shows a simple pendulum of mass 200 gram. It is displaced from the mean position A to extreme position B. The potential energy at the position A is 0. At the position B, the pendulum bob is raised by 5 meters. What is the potential energy of the pendulum at position B? H equal to 5 meter, M is equal to 0.2 kg, G is equal to 10 meter per second square. Potential energy UB is M into G into H. Substituting the values, we get it as 10 joule. What is the total mechanical energy at point C? Total mechanical energy is same at all points of the path due to conservation of mechanical energy. What is the speed of the bob at the position A when released from B? At A, bob has only kinetic energy which is equal to potential energy at B. Therefore, half mv square equal to ub. Substituting the values, we get velocity or speed at A is 10 meter per second. A person standing in front of a cliff fires a gun and hears its echo after 3 seconds. If the speed of sound in air is 336 meter per second, calculate the distance of the person from the cliff. Let the distance of the cliff from the initial position of the person be x. Time after which the echo is heard is 3. So the distance traveled by the sound in 3 seconds is 2 into m. Speed of sound in air is 336 meter per second. Distance is speed into time. Substituting the values, we get x equal to 504 meters. The initial distance of the person from the cliff is 504 meters. After moving a certain distance from the cliff, he fires the gun again, and this time the echo is heard 1.5 seconds later than the first. Calculate the distance moved by the person. As the time taken to hear the echo is increased by 1.5 seconds, hence the person has moved away from the cliff. Let the distance moved by the person from his initial position be y meters. Time after which echo is heard is 1.5 plus 3, 4.5 seconds. New distance is 504 plus y. So the distance traveled by the sound in 4.5 seconds is 2 times 504 plus y. Speed of sound in air is 336 meter per second. Distance is speed into time. Substituting the values, we get y is equal to 252 meters. Distance moved by the person is 252 meters. A radioactive nucleus X emits an alpha particle followed by two beta particles to form nucleus Y. With respect to the element X, where would you position the element Y in the periodic table? We can see from the above that X and Y have same atomic number. Hence, X and Y will occupy the same position in the periodic table according to this equation. What is the general name of the element X and Y? Isotope. If the atomic number of Y is 80, then what is the atomic number of X? When the atomic number of Y is 80 and X and Y are isotopes, then atomic number of X will also be 80. A boy tunes a radio channel to a radio station 93.5. Name and define the scientific wave phenomenon involved in turning the radio channel. Resonance. When the frequency of the externally applied periodic force on a body is equal to its natural frequency, the body readily begins to vibrate with an increased amplitude. This phenomenon is known as resonance. Name the important characteristics of sound that is affected during this phenomenon. Loudness. When the resonance occurs, the loudness increases as the amplitude of the vibration is increased. Convert 93.5 MHz to SI unit. 1 MHz is 10 past 6 Hz. So 93.5 MHz is 93.5 to 10 past 6 Hz. That is 9.35 to 10 past 7 Hz. Purvi's friend Tim wants to connect a fuse to his oven. He wants to control the oven from two different locations. Shown below is his circuit diagram. In which one of the two, A or B, should be a live wire? The switch is always connected to the live wire. In the above diagram, wire B is connected to switch, so wire B must be the live wire. In the event of an overload, will the fuse serve its purpose? No, the fuse will not serve its purpose. In the diagram, the fuse is connected to the earth wire and not the live wire. In case of overload, the excess current will first pass through the oven, damaging it, and after that will flow through the fuse. What is the meaning of the statement that the bulb is rated 600 watt to 20 volt? It means that if the bulb is operated on a 220 volt supply, the electric power consumed by it is 600 watt. That is 600 joule of electric energy is consumed by the bulb in 1 second. Copy and complete the following nuclear reaction. This is the reaction equation. What will be the effect on the radiation X emitted in the above reaction when it is allowed to pass through an electric field? Radiation X are alpha particles, so they will be deflected towards the negative plate when passed through an electric field. Observe the given circuit diagram and answer the questions that follow. Calculate the resistance of the circuit when the key K completes the circuit. 5 ohms and 3 ohms are in series, so the equivalent resistance is 5 plus 3, 8 ohms. Now 2 ohms and RS are in parallel. According to the equation, we can consider resistance in parallel is 1.6 ohms. From circuit diagram, internal resistance is zero point 0.4 ohms. Total resistance of circuit is 1.6 plus zero point 0.4, that is 2 ohms. Calculate the current through the 3 ohm resistance when the circuit is complete. Current drawn from the battery would be I equal to EMF by total resistance, 4 by 2, that is 2 amps. Now current I divides into two parts. Let the current across 2 ohms be I1 and across the series combination of 5 ohms and 3 ohms be I2. Current I is equal to I1 plus I2, that is 2A. Terminal voltage of cell V is equal to I into resistance parallel. So 2 into 1.6 is 3.2 volt. Potential difference across 2 ohm resistor is 3.2 volt. I1 is 3.2 by 2, that is 1.6 amps. Substituting the value of I1 in equation 1, 2 is equal to 1.6 plus I2. So I2 is zero point 0.4 ampere. Current across 3 ohms is zero point 0.4 ampere. What mass of ice at 0 degrees Celsius added to 2.1 kilogram water will cool it down from 75 degrees Celsius to 25 degrees Celsius? Specific heat capacity of water is 4.2 and specific latent heat of ice is 336. Given these values, heat energy given out by the water in lowering its temperature from 75 degrees Celsius to 25 degrees Celsius is mc, and change in temperature, that is 2100 into 4.2 into 75 minus 25, that is 4,41,000. Heat energy taken by kg of ice to melt into water at 0 degrees Celsius is mi into L, that is 336 mi. Heat energy taken by water at 0 degrees Celsius to raise its temperature to 25 degrees Celsius is mi into C into change in temperature, that is 105 mi. Considering heat energy release is equal to heat energy taken and substituting the values we got above, we get m is equal to 1 kilogram. Hence, the mass of ice added is 1 kg. The diagram below shows a cooling curve for a substance. State the temperature at which the substance condenses. Substance condenses at 150 degrees Celsius. The temperature range in which the substance is in liquid state is 150 to 60 degrees Celsius. Why do we prefer ice to ice cold water for cooling a drink? 1 gram of ice at 0 degrees Celsius takes 336 joules of heat energy from the drink to melt into water at 0 degrees Celsius. Thus, the drink liberates an additional 336 joule of heat energy to 1 gram of ice at 0 degrees Celsius, then to 1 gram ice cold water at 0 degrees Celsius. Therefore, cooling produced by 1 gram ice at 0 degrees Celsius is much more than that by 1 gram water at 0 degrees Celsius. A magnet is released across the axis of a copper coil as shown in the diagram. State the polarity at the top end of the coil when the magnet leaves the coil. North pole. Reason: when the magnet leaves the coil, then as per Lenz's law, the bottom end of the coil develops south pole, hence top end of the coil develops north pole. The direction of the current is from A to B when magnet enters the coil. What will be the direction of the current when the magnet leaves the coil? Direction will be from B to A. Reason: when the magnet leaves the coil, then as per Lenz's law, the direction of induced current in the coil will try to oppose it. Hence, it will be in the opposite direction to what it was when the magnet entered the coil. So, direction of induced current will be from B to A. Name the law which can be used to determine the direction of the induced current in the coil. Lenz's law. State one way to increase the magnitude of the induced current in the coil. Increasing the number of turns in the coil. And with this, we come to the end of the solutions. All the best for your exams.